Roll call. Scott Lazo, George Chinya, present. Present. Chief,
Present. Alex Barron, present.
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 Present. And the ACO, present.
Present.
We have a quorum. Approval of minutes of September 10th,
No
2024.
minutes tonight. I think they packed away. So
No minutes tonight. That's
we're going to
fine.
be moving in a few months, and my wife decided to stop packing. We're going 2 miles down the road.
We're on agenda item 3. Review and discuss the following and take any action. Update on the building project, including but not limited to funding, design scope, preliminary cost estimates, bid process, the timeline, approval of posting and project if warranted. Okay, I'd like to turn this over to Mr. McClure.
Great. Nice to see everybody again. Happy New Year, 2025. Hey. Yeah. So the good news is we finally, after much waiting, is we got our site survey done. That was where we were identifying the area that we was ideally place the building. And also the wetland delineation, which was a big part of this. So the orange you see here is a 100-foot buffer. We don't have, obviously, the scale would be off if we showed you where the DPW building is, but we put it down here. This is the fenced-in area, parking area with the buses and whatnot, and this is the gated area with the gravel road that goes in back. The red is what has been identified as the 200-foot riparian zone. So there's a river down in here that were affected by relative to the 200-foot riverfront. Now, so it's previously disturbed as we have DPW, the whole DPW complex is within that. But any additional buildings, we have to be at least cognizant of the fact that it's 200 and want us to stay out of that. If we do choose to impact it, we have to do an alternative analysis. So this is just a SketchUp because we just got that to show you that we can potentially keep the building outside of it. I think if we were trying to keep everything outside, obviously we need access back in here, so we would have access through the drive access. But in this case scenario, I'm keeping the building out of it. We would design our stormwater, down into the slope here, and also the drive access to get in and out of the garage. And obviously, I think the way that the garage is designed, to have opening on both sides, it makes sense that you can actually drive. We looked at, potentially having a drive in come through here and then doing a back out, but it doesn't really make sense as far as functionality. So I think there's some things that when we go to the Conservation Commission, we'll obviously need somebody, from the town to say, hey, we've looked at this. I don't, pushing this back is doable. It's open land back here, but we're gonna be, working into the slopes. We'll be doing more impact to like cut and fills and that type of thing. So trying to maintain that, we did have some area closer where that store pile is, that we could push this closer, not impact as much. But again, we're showing at least staying out of that 200 as much as possible, right? And making this turn radius out of the outside that fenced-in area, we'd still be able to maintain this fenced-in area for the DPW versus the animal shelter property. And whether we wanted to extend this fence to enclose that is totally up to the committee here. But so working within the 100-foot is not a problem, it's just a typical notice of intent. So we're going to do a notice of intent regardless, it's just going to be the challenge relative to the 200-foot riverfront area. This is Jacob, he's the architect here, so.
Welcome, Dave.
So that's the building site plan. If we get approval on this is really what's gonna push this thing along, the project push it along, and we can start with our stormwater and everything else. We will go over to the building plans, and after last meeting, we took all the comments and Jay worked those in, and I think the biggest ones were with the discussion relative to the additional mechanicals we would need, to do the radiant heat, we increased the mechanical. We did actually move all of the fixtures off of any exterior wall. You'll see that right here. We brought the toilet into here and the sink's right over here, so we did a little bit of reconfiguration with that toilet, closet, the mechanical and the supply, and we bumped closets into what was formerly a kind of larger than what the committee liked as far as the waiting area. So you'd be able to get a couple chairs here if you needed to be, but really utilizing as much of that space as possible for much needed storage. Shows some storage racks here. We obviously there's some other spaces that you could gain it as you start utilizing this facility. So quarantine, the other mechanicals that we needed are all be on this side. You have access to them, basically along that, that drive around. Keep them out of the front, whether that really matters, but I think that made the most sense. The 10 kennels, the hose connections that makes the cleaning of those kennels much more functional as far as dragging hoses through it, and so the desire tonight is lock this down so we can get our MEs, our electricals, and our plumbing people in working on to finalize this, make sure that the radiant heat is still the way we want to go, and again, the acceptance of the size being, everybody's good with the size, then my civil site guys can move right on the site plan and get the stone water and everything else that we need. And whether we need, pavement, you just let us know, right? We'll put that all in, that's has to be accommodated in my stormwater management because I just gotta capture that. But given the way that this property slopes down, we feel that we'll be able to get all of our attention, retention, whatever infiltration we're gonna want into this slope. It'll work well, everything will flow gravity and we'll get it ready. I haven't shown utilities here yet, but that's the other thing. Obviously, we have to bring the utilities through the 200 foot, but there's disturbance there already, so that's I think that's gonna be acceptable to them because we have to get utilities through that facility. And then, obviously we just updated this, showing the quarantine caged area for walking area in the back. We're showing a gate here outside as well. So I'm thinking, with your input, I think this is what we had pretty much locked in on that last meeting.
Any discussion?
Could I just ask one question about the garage? We talked a little bit about storage options and how if we're gonna build anything in, or if you wanna try to furnish it with something that you purchase. What are some of the thoughts about that, like for crates or anything else?
Yeah, we kind of just showed some storage racks.
We're not really sure
Yeah.
what the direction is there, whether we should include anything
I would
that the
think
contractors are gonna do.
shelving, that you have the ability to move the shelves up and down, can fit the types of equipment that's needed for those shelving.
Something that's adjustable or something that's permanent?
I would say adjustable.
And rack with enclosures, gated enclosures, open doors that would swing, or is it?
I would leave it open.
Okay, so open shelving, which is gonna be.
Open adjustable metal shelving?
Yeah.
Now, that's the thing, do we want to incorporate that into the wall structure, or you just want to say, hey, we're just gonna put shelving, get shelving and build that out as we go along? Because that all has to be spec'd into the.
Right, depending on what you're gonna use it for.
Yeah.
You got commercial shelving that we can buy and put it in as furniture.
Right, I think that's probably the way to go, because what's to say in 5 years?
So you don't
need
have to tie anything into the walls.
So these would be good, because we kind of want those built out and enclosed, so that you could lock those, because you're gonna have, waiting people in there, it's gonna look cleaner, right? But inside of your garage, we'll just kind of leave the garage open, that'd be easiest for bidding purposes, and then you have enough room, as you can see, you could just build those out however that you need those.
Thank you. That was really my only question after the discussion that you guys had in your first meeting, and it seems like we've nailed it for the
Yeah.
most part, right?
And controls, as far as that goes, Jay, as far as the HVAC and that type of stuff, and all of your controls, I guess, would be out of the office, or do you want to have, like, heat and temperature. I mean, you're gonna have thermostats, right? So you make one adjustment here, you want an adjustment, you want zones. That's another thing that, you know, we'll have to tell the HVAC guys during the, you know, the design. Is this gonna be a different zone than
Yeah.
Probably.
offices?
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
zone it.
Okay.
So you probably only need two, right? One for
Because-
the.
With
One
the
for the
kennels
garage.
having the outdoor
Or three.
access, the temperature is gonna be way different
Yeah,
in
like
there than
three.
it is in
Yeah,
the.
3. One for the
Once
garage,
you
one for the
open
kennels.
those doors, it's gonna drop so much.
and
You're
then
what
one
he
for
does
the
for a living.
offices. 3 different zones.
3 different zones.
Yeah.
Now, I think you had made a comment about needing like fencing inside the kennel, like inside that door, a secondary.
Oh.
Is that just for the quarantine room, or is that
Just
for
for
all
the
of them?
Just for the quarantine room, and that's there.
Okay.
In which then we did talk to Jay, these will all be window doors,
Yeah.
right? So you can see what's going on before we go in, and then this would be like a gated, it's gonna be like chain link or some sort of
Yeah.
open, not a direct wall, it'll be open air.
Could we use the same fencing that we're using elsewhere, or would you want to do something different for the interior versus the exterior? You think it matters?
One of the things actually I just came across with using chain link fencing, depending upon where it's riveted onto the pole, it's at like face level where the animals are. So like we had one like cut its face because it kept on hitting where the bracket was. So I'm like, keep in mind for that.
Well, there are other options.
There
for
is other
fencing.
options, other than chain link, or you can just have them faceted in a different method.
Okay.
Um,
So more like a panel really than
yeah,
a fence with standard poles and stuff.
yeah.
All right. We could probably find something like that.
I'm not trying to be insensitive to the animals, but if we put panels in there, say a glass panel, doesn't that increase the cost quite a bit compared to the
Oh yeah, I'm
chain
not
link?
saying glass panels. I'm saying it would be some kind of fencing type panel.
There's a veterinary grade, like metal, steel doors that are latched to the wall. That's what I'm more or less thinking, going that route
Instead of the pole?
instead of like the
That's just for
chain
the
link.
quarantine room, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
That's
it's
what,
just
yeah,
the
just for
wall,
that.
So we're not talking the whole,
No.
okay,
no,
that's what,
quarantine room,
right, okay, I understand that better, okay.
Yeah, just the regular outdoor kennel space will be.
Right.
The
Standard
quarantine
fencing.
animals are gonna be the
Right.
problem animals that are charging the door and,
Yeah,
you know, going crazy.
So another question would be in the garage, is gonna be, I mean, we have washing in here, we're gonna have to put a, like, in the garage, if you're gonna do washing in there, like, it's a tight tank because it's a vehicle. This, Jay, where does typically this wash down gonna go? It's gonna go into this, into the sewer, into the ejector pump, all of that will?
Yeah.
And but I don't know, what about a drain in the garage? Would that?
I don't think we
would
want to
tie
get into
in
that. I
there too?
think you'd rather just slope it like a normal garage and go out.
Just slope to the outside.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I gotta do NBC traps. and-
Yeah, we don't want to get into that, right? It's
Okay.
gonna be
Yeah.
Quite expensive.
simple, right?
Yeah.
You'd actually pitch it in both directions.
it won't be so bad, because she's gonna be running a
Crowded.
scooter instead of a truck.
The scooter. Electric scooter.
Got it
Polaris.
in the horse and buggy.
Oh, really?
Need a charging station.
Looks good.
Yeah, I mean, so we really haven't looked at, turning radiuses here for whether or not, and I don't have anyone from the fire department here, but, what's the worst case scenario? Like, do I have to design for the, because the ladder truck obviously versus a pump truck.
But they
you know.
usually send about 7 trucks to a small fire.
I
I think you might have to leave the
I
gate
was
16
thinking that
feet
maybe we
over.
should,
can handle it
Why, I
myself,
just-
like the last
let's
one.
make it like 5 miles
Yeah.
round, so we
Don't
can
talk
make sure
to
they can
fire
fly the
department.
helicopter.
Yeah, so
Extra extinguishers.
we
Extra extinguishers.
typically made our turning radius is just for the pickup truck, right?
And that's what, that's basically what we need.
Yeah, they can gonna pull in here. This will
They
be-
can fight the fire from the front of the building.
Okay.
Yeah, if they have to get a ladder, they could go right here with a
Yeah.
ladder to here and then the engine.
Sometimes
Yeah.
they require me to do it 20 feet around.
No,
way.
no.
If they're gonna need to
By
put a
law, we
ladder
don't
up,
have to
pretty
do
much
that.
we're gonna have a new
By
design.
law, like, we're not, all right, we're good.
Which who
It's
law?
those guys that wanna land the helicopter over there, yeah, we're good.
Fire chief.
It's gonna be the new drone airport.
I don't know. He gets his for free.
And then obviously for,
Another one coming for free,
the-
too.
for the DPW, that, I don't know how often they use down that into there, but we'll still have, I'll find out from Rich really what he wants, but he can probably make his own gravel access once he comes off of this.
Right.
And, I'm assuming we wanna pave though, all through here and then through here.
Yes.
around.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's for
Yeah,
sure,
and
yeah.
then after that, they can
Just
pull
have
their
a
trucks in and do whatever they wanna do off the
Curb
side.
cut there or something.
Yeah, the gate is through here, this is kind of, this what you see here is already a gravel road. We're gonna interrupt that, and again, I didn't wanna push this down any further because I'm gonna get into that slope, I'd rather keep it up as high as I possibly could.
Is that parking area existing?
This is.
Outside the fence? Yeah.
Yes, this is all,
Inside.
and then we just, and the other thing is, I don't know what the, parking use intensity is,
Yeah.
but when we go through planning board, we're gonna obviously ask for a variance because it's not a,
Yeah.
you know, it's not a veterinary office, it's just.
In the Oxford, how many parking spaces do they have at the Oxford kennel?
None.
Well, it was probably
None?
also built
None.
in 1972.
How about Charlton? They're pretty bad.
They have none.
In Charlton,
No. It's-
Oxys is like on a dirt patch, it's not
Yeah,
even.
and
I
Charles.
mean, I
you got all
thought
this
if you
parking.
throw a few parking spots,
Yeah, right.
Like,
I mean, it's gonna be, this is gonna be open anyway, right?
Yeah.
Let them park there.
This gate will
Yeah.
be, yeah.
This will be open because
Yeah.
I think security's here, so
Yeah.
if anything, we could put additional parking.
Yeah, let them walk in, I mean, you
Right,
know.
because that's
I
open area, that's
don't-
not,
Yeah,
That's-
I only see maybe one person.
but if the planning board blocked.
And I will probably take away one of these, we put them two, but we only need, that's just probably was using the intensity use, so I'll give one handicap spot and then you'll have three.
Do we have to put an EV charger in there?
Uh,
I'm just asking, that's all.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, no, because I'm taking the one, I'm
Right?
taking the free one that we have off our
oh,
building,
perfect.
so we'll just move it there.
Yeah, you gonna do that?
I don't think
You doing
you,
that?
Yeah, we just
When?
signed the contract, so.
Oh, great.
I don't think you have to put one in by
The EV
code.
charger?
Yeah, for commercial.
Not for that type of
can afford to
use.
buy the vehicle.
No,
I'll check it.
I'll double
out.
check.
I would think there'd be like a minimum parking.
Because I know our
spot
fire station, we have to
capacity.
put in the EV chargers. We're
Yeah.
required to.
To put in like 10 of them down there for that?
We have to put 5.
Oh, really? I thought you were joking.
No, and then an outlet
5
inside the
chargers down
building,
there?
and then an outlet inside the
Charge the
building.
cars while they're working.
Oh, the little Priuses?
Alright, so I'll
So
check
think of the
it.
generator, I get it.
Another reason
That
right
way,
out the building.
size of that. Generator.
5 chargers. There you go. So we don't have to put one
Oh, generator.
there, right?
Do we have a
He's saying
generator?
based upon the use, probably not have to worry about it. If it was a
Yeah,
residential,
we'll confirm.
definitely.
Yeah, residential, you definitely would,
Right.
it's
On the residential,
25%.
it's gotta go in the box.
So when can we go to bid?
So, yeah, you gotta give me approval on this.
All right,
Then you gotta give me approval on that, and then we'll start pulling together our bidding documents.
do I have a motion to approve the preliminaries here to go
I
forward?
do, I make that motion.
Motion by Shenya, seconded by
Second.
Chief. Any further discussion on the presentation?
Caitlin, you're good with this?
I
as
am
it
good,
stands?
this is it.
So when do you anticipate the final, everything done to go out for bid?
Wait a minute, let's finish one thing
Oh, I
here.
thought we already
Is everybody,
voted.
no, we didn't vote.
Sorry.
So what's the motion to go to bid document?
The motion going to be document
Okay.
on what's presented to us today. If there's no discussion on that, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous, all present. Go ahead, George.
All right, now when this is, I guess, completed drawings is what we were talking?
Yeah, so now, from the building component, and Jake can speak to more to it than that, is we gotta go to the AEs, the plumbing, and the, you know, the HVAC, right, the MEs, and so they're gonna start working on this, and we're gonna start working on the site plan. The site plan, once we get this approved, we need to go, you know, obviously we gotta go and get our permitting, right, through conservation, I think, and planning. So as long as we have the stage set for that and we can get in through those, but, you know, I've got a month anyways on my design for my site plan to show that we're gonna get this, you know, my stormwater and everything worked out, and then I don't know how long, you've talked to you
Yeah,
guys,
but-
and so.
I'd say we're 3 months away from
So my concern
3 months
is,
away from what?
final bid document.
Okay.
my concern is that we beat out the new building code that comes into effect July 1st. because it's gonna add, probably, it could add some significant cost.
You think?
Well, if you go out to.
The energy
bid
code
dockets
alone.
in 3 months.
The energy
it
code's
would be
the
a
same
pertain
one.
to that.
The
Yeah.
energy code's the
It's
same
gonna
You
one.
already
pertain
missed
to
the
the
vote on that one,
single-family home.
unfortunately.
Yeah, we missed
That
the
was
vote on the
missed
energy
July
code.
So you're gonna have bid documents ready by April. Yeah.
Yeah.
To go out to bid.
Yes.
So you're gonna be in the bid, so you're in the current code anyway, right?
Yeah,
By
I
the
think,
time
I
it
think
was
the
issued.
grace period ends July 1st, I think.
Right,
and-
so you're gonna be in that,
Right, the
because we're along the same, probably
Fire
timeline as the
station.
fire station.
So we should be okay. And I don't think that the 9th to 10th edition on a building like this is minimal.
Yeah,
The
we
difference.
just got so much.
So we talked about the heating, the radiant floor heating, what about, air conditioning? Like, is that gonna be mini splits?
That's what we had in the last version.
Yeah.
Um,
Are they gonna
Mini
be
split
sufficient?
where?
What do you guys, yeah, what do you guys think? How
Air
much,
handlers.
how much needs to be air
I thought we
conditioned?
were gonna do,
Air handlers what?
air handlers,
Yeah, hydros.
hydro airs,
Okay.
Hydro what?
hydro air.
Hydro air?
Yeah, it's,
Hydro air or heat,
it's
or
use
electric heat
forced hot
pumps?
water to heat air.
Do they have to be heat pumps now?
No, we could use, we could do hydro air if you want. I mean, we're gonna have a boiler anyway.
We're gonna have a boiler
Right.
anyway, that was the whole reason for that.
Backup heat too? or something?
So radiant heating will be in the complete building?
Except the
That's what
garage,
we
right?
discussed, yeah, except the garage.
In the garage is gonna be a ceiling fan or whatever, ceiling heat, or you're gonna have to have some.
Modine, probably.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right.
So propane or natural gas?
I don't know, I don't know if there's natural gas up there.
Are
Yeah, we don't have gas down there yet.
Aren't they
There
bringing
was
gas
talk
to
about
the-
bringing it from Charles Street to the easement to the
But I don't know
DPW
when
block.
that grid is on that.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know when that grid would be with that, to do that. So
So
we're gonna do
propane?
propane, yeah.
Okay.
Propane. Just because we don't wanna hold up on that.
No,
do we want to do an underground tank or just?
Probably. Yeah, if you got all the equipment down there already, might as well.
yeah,
Okay.
How big is that tank gonna be?
500 gallons, right? 500?
500.
That should be fine.
Something like that. What's the square footage?
What's the square footage?
29, 40.
Yeah, 500.
Yeah, that's
That includes
500
the
is more
garage,
than enough.
so.
500 is more than enough.
Should be
How many times do you think you would fill it?
3 times a year.
It's about 1,500. I'm thinking budget.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
think budget ahead.
I hear you.
That sounds exactly right.
I got 3,000 square feet, I do it fill 3 times a year, and my whole house is gas.
Always be thinking, you know?
Is that with doors open?
Sometimes when my son's there,
Because I'm
No
thinking
insulation.
because
This
the
might,
doors
I was
are
gonna say, this
open.
might be a little more insulated, I don't know.
Yeah, there's no insulation in the attic, it's just going right out the roof.
So then you need to find a location for that. So
Yeah, we can spot it in the front. I mean, how far off is it? How far
it's
off
gotta
is
be
it?
10 feet away from the building if it's on the ground,
10 feet away?
yeah.
Probably in the gra- I'm assuming
So it
it's
really can go
supposed to be
anywhere.
grass area.
Yeah.
It really could. You could
Okay.
go 50 feet away, 100
Yep.
feet, you know.
Oh, okay.
well, depending what a boiler is, you wanna kind of,
No,
the
it's, the
vicinity.
gas goes to the boiler doesn't go to the,
No, I know, but the thing is, if the boiler's on the front of the building,
somewhere
wouldn't you
around
put the
that.
tank on the front of the building?
no, it wouldn't matter, because you're gonna run a hose on the ground to wherever you want.
We could, it depends. If I got the two,
It might
I
be a
got
short
the two.
No
distance,
way.
like what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
way.
No way.
you can work with
No
that.
way.
Even a fire inspector on the same plane.
I know more about propane tanks than you'll ever know.
Okay,
Best part
I
is
just
the
wanna ask a
pressure
question. Hypothetically, if the boiler's here, you
Yep.
put the tank on this side and run it around under the building?
No,
Or
you
would
bring
you
the-
put it right
You
here?
can put the gas tank any
10
way
feet
you
off the
want.
front of the building?
You can put it any way you want, and you can pipe the gas to the back of the building and then come in through the building and go to the boiler
Well,
room.
wouldn't you want to be sure to save cost?
Wouldn't it cost more?
See, that would see the cost.
I wouldn't wanna see.
He wants to make the money. All
Nothing to do with the money.
your mechanical's gonna be on that
Right.
backside, so.
So we'll put it in the backside.
So what I'm
Have
saying
at it. There we
Something like
go.
10 feet off the building.
There you go, wow, that was hard.
You could do a concrete guy, no plumbers.
I already knew it was in the back of the building. You can see it from
The
here.
general
It's mechanical.
contractor and then the specialty guys.
Jack,
Yeah.
did the National Grid say they will bring a line in?
Yeah, how
No,
long
they
until
have
that?
not said.
No, there was
There's
discussion.
discussion
Just
that,
discussion.
Talked about that for a couple of years now,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
if we were to do that. But, I mean, we just redid the whole boilers in the
Oh, okay.
DPW with oil.
Right.
We did try the gas burners if we ever can get to it gas.
The
Could you,
convertible, right?
could you convert propane to
Absolutely, all the
gas?
equipment has to
Right,
get
so if
converted,
we-
all equipment comes natural gas, you have to convert it, you just save the, conversion
part,
kit and leave
right.
it right there with the
So
equipment.
we had bought the conversion kit from oil to gas for the DPW. if we
Yeah, but
had
now
to.
we would have an in-ground tank, so
But
why would we
why
just?
would you do it?
Right.
Unless you
Okay.
could do it top cost.
I just didn't know if there was like,
Later on, you know.
Should we look at bringing the gas from Charles Street down here?
I don't know where that grid would be with that though. I mean, that would be, I would spec it right now with propane.
Okay,
uh,
If
Sounds
something
good.
changes between, yeah. 'Cause
Right?
You don't know about
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah,
grid.
sure, because you're saying
Yeah,
it's
you
gonna
can
come
always
in
change
anyway,
it.
so if they have the line right here and they can tap us in,
Yeah.
then we're good to go.
Yeah.
Just-
We'll follow up with Aubrey there from,
Sounds
I
good.
mean, I gotta follow up with something else. But that's quite a length for them to go from Charlton Street, because it would come from Charlton Street, not Gulf
Right.
Road, so.
What about a generator? What happens when you lose power and there's animals in the building?
They're in the dark for a little bit.
Okay. I just don't know if there's any like state requirement.
We could spec it, I mean,
Where's-
CE is gonna know exactly what we got for.
where's
Do you need
where's the
Can you go
generator?
to add
Do you
alternate?
need it?
Do you need it?
yeah, use that add alternate. In other
Where's
words,
the generator
if we
going
get a
from the?
grant
site?
through PEG,
Yeah.
Wait, where's the generator going from the senior center?
the
Well,
old,
You
the
don't
old
need an
one?
awful
The old
large
one.
generator.
That's three
Well, no, I
phases.
mean,
No, there's,
Isn't that three phase?
the one that's at the
They're right there
I'm
right
not
now?
sure.
I don't know if it's three
It's a
phase.
fucking big
I
generator.
knew
Yeah, it is, I
The
guarantee it's
portable
three
one?
phase.
But we have another portable one too.
Right.
Well, that's probably three-phase too.
Well, you're gonna have propane there, why don't you just get a propane operated one?
Yeah, you don't need a big.
You don't need a
one,
big
You don't
one.
need diesel.
That's not.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, you don't need that big, right?
Nope.
That alternate for propane.
Add alternate for propane, generator.
That powers the whole building? Or just,
I don't know if you need to power the whole building.
that's where the animals are?
yeah, and for the.
Follow us down the middle of the night. What do we need to
Emergency
hold it?
lighting, you know?
Emergency stuff.
Emergency
yeah.
lighting of an animal.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, you're not talking much,
Refrigerator.
right? Heating,
that's minimal, that's minimal.
right? Heating and
Heating.
that's it,
Well, if you're gonna do a generator, probably get a 1,000-gallon tank, in case you don't know how long you're gonna run out of power. It's not that much more,
right? No, and you're only filling
Slightly
it.
bigger hole.
probably twice a year,
No more pad.
unless you lose power.
Maybe.
And propane doesn't go bad, right?
Gas, no, it doesn't go bad.
Yeah, use it.
Just saying.
Anything else? Is there anything else you need from us?
No, I mean, we, supplied Jimmy J, gave his, opinion of probable cost on the building itself. I mean, it's gonna get, you know, we're all able to, you know, get that closer. I don't know what this scenario was with that. You guys are looking at funding one way or another. It's gonna obviously come down to how we bid this, right? We're gonna wanna bid it as a whole package, site work and building, everything all at once, right? But you know, and that, maybe that's for funding or grants of people, donations and that type of thing. So, now that we know this, then we're gonna be able to get you.
So this is the question, if there were people this is where we're gonna get into the question, for bidding purposes, if you had somebody that was gonna do the site work, well, the DPW was doing the site work, right? But if you have somebody that does the concrete work and donates it, how do you bid that into a bid document?
It's very difficult. We tried to do
Right,
that at one point in time, like rigging that out, it's gonna be, so then I'm gonna hold a non-wage,
Non-prevailing wage.
non-prevailing wage contractor, hold him responsible, tie him into a foundation done by somebody else. I mean, it can happen, we just need to make sure that they work together, because, you know, these are all gonna be pinned, they gotta be square, they're gonna be, so everything's laid out, depending on who does the layout, we just like to hold all this stuff together.
Right.
I just see, you know, it can be, anything can be done, it's just a matter of how tight we hold that one.
Say you went out to bid and a general contractor bids it with the stipulation that, like, say I was gonna donate the foundation.
Yeah,
The material's the material, but if I donated all the labor,
yeah,
you know, and I would work under the sub,
right,
you know,
How do you write that?
how do you write that up?
that's difficult.
Right, I mean, that's the,
I'd rather not donate it to slow the process down, I wanna get it done.
Right, right.
I mean, the
So-
chief is taking long enough, 9 years is enough.
I got 4 of those years, right?
well, no, that's where it becomes difficult to bid out, hey, I'm gonna have somebody do heating or
Yeah, because we're gonna bid, this thing needs to be completed in a certain number of days. Then all of a sudden they say, well, this guy's
Then
gonna
Rob
do
just
this.
go do it.
And he's gonna say, no, you can't tie me to that no more, and I'm gonna do it out from when the day I start, you know.
And then you get into the warranty part too.
Right.
If,
Something
if
goes
you,
wrong.
if you guys know what components that might qualify for what you're talking about, I mean, I think if you,
We're talking about
Make a
HVAC
list.
labor, plumbing labor, concrete labor. We have that, we're all like a family-run company, not gonna pay the rate, go in, pull out the foundation, DPW does the digging,
I don't know. I mean,
but if it's
sure, we can figure
gonna,
out a way to write it.
if it's gonna muddy up the waters,
Can you
Let
look
it
at
go.
it and get back to
Oh,
us?
yeah,
Yeah.
and look
Yeah,
at it.
that's why I want you to look at it.
And so from contractual is gonna be what we typically write in to tie everybody in.
Right.
Right, then we have to be loosey-goosey on that, right?
Right.
Just because I normally say, boom, 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 this is what we're holding you to, these are,
Right.
if you don't get it done in that time, you're gonna be.
Right, there's
fines.
penalties, there's
Right,
that,
exactly,
yeah.
so,
Yeah, if you could look at how that might work and then
Yeah.
get back to us, that might be it. Just so we can make an educated decision.
yeah.
So
Right, I will.
concrete, plumbing, and what was it?
HVAC.
And then would you do a
I
separate
would
bid
call that
for
a
like
risk in the general
materials?
contractor business.
or-
Never hurts to.
Yeah, it's
never
not-
hurts to
not-
talk
not
about
doable.
it.
Materials, they'd have to see what that bid spec is, and then that GC is gonna leave that one out, leave that one out, leave that one out.
So
He's
who
gonna
would
come
be
in and
responsible
frame
for
it.
buying those? Right, so you're asking somebody, just frame it.
Oh, you're talking with just materials, now just materials, I don't know if I can't break that out.
Yeah, so how do you do that too, you know what I mean?
yeah.
You're also gonna get an increased cost from a general contractor who's being asked to manage
Of course,
subcontractors
of
that
course.
aren't
In
his.
that case, they
So sometimes what you save isn't.
So
is-
you're better off getting- and you're better off getting donations.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, go straight up, bid it out, nobody's gonna.
But
Yeah,
I don't
Try
think
to
it
ramp
hurts,
up
I don't
for
think it
more
hurts
donations.
to talk about it and to somehow write it in and then talk about it in some sort of pre-bid conference and then see what happens. If we can figure it out
Yeah,
during the bid process.
I just wanna throw that out now before we come
Yeah.
back a month from now and say, oh, we wanna do this.
Yeah, we will.
As a concept,
Yeah.
because you're right, it really gets
Yeah.
complicated as to the materials. Okay, yeah, you're doing labor,
yeah,
but when it comes to the materials, how do you tie that into the purchase and bidding and all that?
yeah, because his sub is buying all those materials and guaranteeing them going in at that time. You say this is what I need for this material, and he buys that under his contract. You know, it's,
And the thing that would concern me is, once, if he did all the work and then a year later under the warranty,
Yeah, how do you
would we
want
go
to-
after him or we go after the contractor?
Right.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
GC's not gonna warranty it.
I mean,
It's worth the conversation,
Figure it
but.
out.
yeah, we'll see what we can work into there, it's just,
if it's a local contractor that bids it,
that's easy.
You
We
win.
just, we just, no, way up. If
Yeah,
it's
when's
P
the
and P
bid?
or somebody like that, I'll be.
it would be great.
Yeah, no, that's the best. If it's somebody we get from over in Springfield or Boston or wherever it is, that's where these guys get very.
Yeah, yeah,
They bring in their own subs
All
in.
right,
and
so
they
just
want-
take a look at it, we throw it out there, because I know what's been talked about.
Yeah,
Whatever you do, don't let it slow it down.
no, okay, yeah.
Push
Yeah,
comes
we're
to shove.
gonna have it set,
Keep
so
going.
it's bid, and if someone says, hey, we can do this, this, and this, and we can break it out after the point, but once we get our full bid documents together, and then we can say, oh, okay, maybe that.
The reason I say it's worth talking about is because the one contractor that was really interested last time and was the low bid.
Yeah.
What, it was really good, and I think it's easy to have a phone conversation with him and say, all right, so here's a scenario, what do you think? And if he says absolutely not, that's pretty simple, right? But
Yeah.
if he says, all right, yeah, it's something we can talk about, we can figure out a way to write it in. And,
Okay, there you go,
all right, so.
all right.
Yeah, I mean, especially for what it is, it's a shelter that the town really needs, and it provides a community service that's,
Yeah.
some of these jobs are just not, they're just not as amenable.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? If not, we'll move on to agenda item number 4, approval of any invoices to be submitted to the finance department for payment.
There are no invoices, actually, it came in, I paid it,
Okay,
got sent to ARPA, because we had to send it go through ARPA, so.
We don't have to
His
vote on
work
that?
is all through our ARPA account, so.
all right, discussion the next meeting date. What turnaround time do you need before you have to get in front of us?
Well, I would prefer to, now that I know, get this in my queue, and then contact a call and say, hey, I'm looking for this, and then see how, like this one went.
Yeah.
We'll leave this open, Jack, when he calls.
Yes, when he calls, we'll see.
ASAP. Moving on to adjournment.
Second.
Second.
Motion, second?
Fourth, sixth,
So,
seventh.
so relative to discussions with, fire is gonna be one, because I really, like, if anybody knows from the fire department, it's like accessibility around this, because I need to know that.
Can I keep these?
Yeah,
I'll keep them, I'll circle back.
now
with
this
the
is
chief.
just preliminary, so.
No, I'll circle back with the chief.
Yeah, turning
and,
radius is what I want, and how far around he
Okay.
needs. to
If you wanna leave these, I will,
Yeah.
all right, leave these and I
2 foot
will.
turning radius is
I'll
all he needs.
send it.
Yeah.
Who you checking with?
I will check with the appropriate party.
All right. If you need any help, call me.
I'll send it.
And then.
So it's turning radius.
Yeah, and then Conservation Commission, it's better to get in front of them. If they're vehemently against us touching anything within 200, I gotta know that right up.
They're very understanding. After tonight, I really think they're very understanding.
What did you do?
May have been offered, could refuse. They say, yeah.
Alright. So, yeah, when do you need to set that up? Are you gonna contact Concom to schedule it up? or-
Yeah, like, I just would, I think if I get in with the conservation of the agent, and then just have somebody from,
So Katie is the agent right now, Katie Yoder?
Okay,
She's the agent?
so if I could
Relatively new,
just
but-
take these down and talk and say, hey, it's
Yeah.
already pre-disturbed, we're just trying to.
Maybe what we'll do is, maybe we'll have Karen Lloyd there.
Yeah.
Karen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Karen and Katie, if we can set that up.
I don't
Yeah,
think
she
we're gonna be
could-
setting any precedents here, it's been done because rivers run all through this town, so.
So we're staying out of the 100 foot and,
No,
or in the 200?
we're gonna be within the 100 foot, which that's no problem for us,
Right.
but it's not, the impact's very, very, very minimal, right? But now, this is my 200, but the 200 can go all through the whole DPW yard. I'm gonna keep the building out, but I will have parking and access to.
Well, yeah, actually, it's just the access, the parking, a little bit of parking.
Yeah, so it's just, it's access, yeah.
Did you say it's have to go to zoning too?
Oh,
Do we need to call
planning
that?
board.
Planning board, I'm sorry.
Yes,
zoning.
yeah. When I don't know how this is, like, we're kinda on a lot that the town owns, so I'm not gonna be anywhere near side, back,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
is
your
all,
setbacks.
is it all zoned, and I haven't checked that yet, but is this all zoned commercial where an animal shelter?
Towns
I
are
thought-
exempt from zoning?
Well, it should be pretty close, because we did the animal
I
shelter
thought it was
on
heavy industrial
Thousand
zone
Tree
like
Shop is right
Cotton.
here, right? So it's gotta be the
But
same.
I
Maybe
never.
Exempt from a
well,
lot of
it
things.
never said.
I don't know if you're
we're gonna
exempt
go
for
there.
the use.
We're, town.
I think we're exempt from the
Town
use.
property,
yeah.
isn't it? We're exempt from planning board issues and stuff?
I'm just putting it out there.
I
so
know we had to go
don't-
to the planning board for the fire station, so they gave, they had some.
They're gonna wanna look at stormwater and
Stormwater and that,
site
yeah.
plan,
That's
and maybe a major.
But Katie, we can set up a meeting with Katie, because she's a town
Oh,
planner too,
perfect,
so
yeah, yeah.
we'll set up with Katie.
So the sooner we can get with her, then I can
So, yeah.
hammer away at that.
So what's that, how
Well,
wide are those gonna be?
So we're probably into one, well, we're coming right into here.
No, how wide, how wide is this? Wide, width wise?
Oh, this
The
driveway is 24 feet. say.
24 feet,
Yeah.
and then this is back here.
I can give her the exact amount of impervious and everything. I'll be
Well,
able
no,
to-
not for that, I'm talking for the fire department, so I know.
Oh, for the fire department, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a typical, a small road, 24 feet.
There's plenty of access
Yeah.
there.
Just
It's
tell us,
it's
send
not
it
worse
for
than a
us.
driveway for a house.
The trucks we
Yeah,
have,
you're
we can
talking
fight it
over
from the
the
front of the
middle
building.
Right?
I
Right?
think a lot of truck
Pretty much.
drivers cost too much money.
And then last but not least, the fencing for the DPW is here. We have fencing into here, but when, the rest of this is gonna be just open in there, we're not gonna fence this in, right? It's just, this is the way it's gonna be. It's gonna be plopped right into that area. Yeah, okay, good. Because I don't think anyone can get in from back here.
Even if they do, I mean, that's a long
Yeah.
haul to go. We're gonna have cameras on the building too.
Yeah.
so.
I mean, if we need to fence it in the future, we can handle it.
And, fire, security, all that, like the last time we're leaving out. You gotta do
Check, but
Yeah, we're gonna put some kind of camera system down there. Yeah.
But that won't be enough.
Wi-Fi router.
How about the
how
phone
about fire
system?
alarm system?
Well, there'll be a panel there,
Right,
but
fine,
other than
yeah.
that, we're not gonna.
How
we're not
about,
gonna-
the
Maybe
phone
phones,
system,
yeah.
phone system and, like, internet?
Well, that we'll talk to, Victor.
But
Well,
won't
I
they
mean,
have to?
you would have to run it so that you have utilities there anyway.
Yeah, so they'll need trenches and conduits and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
A contractor can do that.
But, I mean, as far as the phone system going, we just purchased a phone system, so we'll have that.
Right, but I
Who
mean,
brings it from?
to get it to that
wherever
building,
it's
they're
from?
gonna have to plan for it.
We can put conduits in to get it to the building. The wiring the inside of that building with whatever cameras and everything else you want, we just don't wanna spec a, security system, right? We'll put all the infrastructure there, but it's not gonna be having a company come in and wire it to whatever they need.
Well, we can put like we can work off Ring cameras or whatever, like basic.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we just, that was what we talked about at the last one.
So is DPW gonna bring utility lines from the building to the beginning of the site, or how did
What, as far as,
Water,
Digging.
we got sewer.
the water?
Mike
The
Zuzi
excavation of the utilities.
with a machine, Mike could do that.
Well, the
water,
excavation,
sewer,
who's
yes.
gonna run the line from
Right.
the connection point to the
I
building?
mean, where does the contractor's work start, I guess,
Yeah,
is my
exactly.
question.
Yeah, that's the key for us, yeah.
do you have an estimated cost for that?
For the, water and sewer,
The line itself, yeah.
no, but I can get that pretty easy.
Well, no, because what we could do is out of retained earnings, we could probably
Yeah.
allocate some money for the project, out of retained earnings.
Mike came
When
and did
that's
all
certified.
kinds of, at my PD, right through the driveway, dug the trash.
No, but I'm talking for like for the materials,
Oh,
for the retained earnings.
Take it out of the
purchase
revolving
materials
account.
out of that as a project. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's gonna be a substantial savings, because it's a long haul,
it is.
Yeah.
and we gotta get power out there too.
Yeah, so if you have an estimated cost of what that you think would be
Yeah. From down in here.
from there to
Yes.
there for water sewer.
Yeah,
So we're gonna do, we're not doing septic.
No.
Yeah.
No, Tyler's.
You got a manhole right in the corner of a DBW barn.
Are we gonna have to do
Ejector
sewer
pump.
ejector to get to there?
yeah,
Okay.
that'll be part of the project or not, we can pull that one pretty easy, because it's gonna be just, we're gonna have our drain pipes going into it, and then from there, it's just a matter of bringing that pipe in and tapping into that.
You probably want the contractor to own everything within 10 feet of the building, let's say.
Yeah,
Right.
But then,
yeah.
beyond that, it'd be great if the town could.
So the ejector pump will be there, and then a line coming out of it, and, up to 10 feet from the building, we'll just leave it at
Because you're not talking huge lines either.
that. No, the ejector pump's gonna be.
But the water
2
line
inch
is a
line.
small line, right?
Typically 2
We just don't want a lot of extras like the fire department.
No, we're gonna tie this thing down, it's harder than
All the extras,
You're
yeah.
saying fire alarm and sprinkler too? Or
No,
out?
No.
Or those are
uh,
as part of the bid package?
we don't need sprinkler, no.
Oh,
Not by code anyway.
Fire alarm, we would.
I know that from our last
that would
one.
be in there.
Last count.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely, we listen to you guys about that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
It's
It's a sprinkler on place.
for something like that.
Chris, I just walked in,
Sure.
and I heard you say the 100-foot buffer zone,
Yeah,
or
we-
100-foot. So, I'm not sure how close it is. I was just at a conservation commission meeting
Yeah.
and said I was coming up here,
yeah,
because there is a brook. So is there an NOI?
yeah, there will be an NOI, yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
this, we've identified the, areas here, we got, Ecotex delineated also. The, orange is 100-foot, so we're gonna have some, this is actual physical, structures, but obviously we'll have some, disturbance through that, which will get identified. And this, pink is the 200-foot.
Oh, okay.
And and so when we talked about, like, we were just discussing that, all the DPW, barn, the tanks, the oil tanks, everything's within that 200 foot. It happens to be that river that runs through
Yeah.
runs through the whole site.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're doing our best to keep everything we can out of it. The further we push it away, the more site work will be associated because the land drops off, it goes down there, so. But we're gonna try to keep the impacts to a minimum.
Sinkhole.
And I have another question, this is for you, Caitlin. I was just talking to Natasha downstairs about any turtles that might need, I don't know, rehab or there, and she has some equipment that might be helpful to you guys. And she said that you should contact her.
Well, thank you.
All right, let me finish this meeting up. Any other discussion? Chris, do you need anything else from us?
No, I think we got it.
All right, the meeting's adjourned. Thank you very much.